Imagine you buy a brand new Switch 2, all excited to unbox it. You plug it in, and boom, one cartridge later, it's dead. It's bricked. Not a bug, not a crash, it's bricked. No warning, no trial, no refund. You are simply banished from the Mushroom Kingdom for life. And Mario is not coming to save you. But this time, something different happened. Because instead of just quietly accepting it, one country said, hold up, wait a minute. I'm a bird, mother, I'm a bird. So Nintendo is back at it again. Not content with shutting down fan games, copyright striking videos, and treating its community like the final boss of a cartoon RPG, they've now moved on to a new power up, bricking your Switch too. Yes, literally. If you use unauthorized cartridges or even look at a third party accessory the wrong way, Nintendo might shut your console down like it just got caught modding Mario Kart on company time. So Nintendo literally said, what if your brand new Switch 2 had the lifespan of a housefly? Because apparently, if you use the wrong accessory, plug in the wrong cartridge, or even look like you're not playing by the rules, Nintendo might just nuke your console from orbit. And while most of the world is stuck mumbling terms of service, and, well, I guess that's fair, there's one country that looked at Nintendo EULA and said, that's bullshit. Enter Brazil. More specifically, Sao Paulo's consumer watchdog, Procon SP, who basically just threw a red shell directly at Nintendo's legal card. And today we're talking about why Brazil is right, what Nintendo is actually doing, and why this little fight might be the first real pushback against corporate DRM insanity we've seen in years. Let's get the facts straight first. Nintendo is breaking Switch 2 consoles, not banning accounts, not giving suspensions. We're talking full on console execution. Sana snap, no coming back, goodnight sweet prince. Users who plugged in MIG flash cartridges, used for things like backing up your legally owned games, got hit with the error code 2124 4508. And what does that code mean? Permanent ban. Not from your account, but from all online services on that actual console. Your Switch 2 goes from next gen gaming machine to a glorified plastic coaster. No eShop, no multiplayer, no game chat, no cloud save, no updates, nothing. It's not even about whether you pirate anything, it's about whether Nintendo system thinks you might have. Guilty until proven, nothing, because there's no appeal process. And in case you're thinking, that sounds harsh, but maybe it's in the fine print? Yes, it absolutely is. Nintendo's EULA, aka 10,000 word digital hostage agreement you clicked accept on just to play Mario, is how they're justifying this. Buried in its clause that gives them permission to render the Nintendo device permanently unusable, in whole or in part. That's it. That's their legal superweapon. They can destroy your 400 plus device, and you agreed by wanting to play Zelda. And this is where Brazil kicks in the door. The Sao Paulo branch of the country's Consumer Protection and Defense Program, aka Procon SP, saw this policy and went, yeah, no, that's not legal here. Absolutely not. Get the hell out of here. They filed a formal complaint against Nintendo, arguing that this whole clause, this power to break your device remotely, is abusive and violates Brazilian consumer law. See, in Brazil, if you sell someone a physical product like, oh, I don't know, a console, you don't get to just reach into their living room and break it later because you didn't like what they put on the cartridge slot. That's like selling someone a car, then disabling the engine from a satellite because they've changed the oil themselves. Or, like some car company where you have to pay an online monthly subscription to even have heat in the car. Looking at you, BMW. Brazil's stance is this: if it's a product people buy and own, you don't get to destroy it after the fact, especially not based on vague, you might be pirating logic, and especially not without any sort of investigation, appeal, or even communication. This is actually government level pushback, and it's the first we've seen in the spot Switch 2 era. Now, you might be wondering, what did Nintendo say in response? Well, nothing publicly, because Nintendo doesn't even have a formal legal presence in Brazil. Seriously, you can buy Switch in Brazil, but if something goes wrong, you're basically calling a ghost. So Procon SB, and God, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, had to contact Nintendo of America because the company is apparently too shy to exist legally in the country it sells products in. That's not shady at all. In response, Nintendo hired a Brazilian law firm to act as their local stand in, because of course they did. Procon SP gave them 20 days to respond. And as of now, we're just waiting to see if Nintendo backs down or doubles down and risks a full on legal battle with a government agency. Now, here's why the story is a lot bigger than just one country. If Brazil successfully pushes back and forces Nintendo to change its EULA or limit its ability to remotely break consoles, that becomes a precedent. Other countries, especially in Europe, will take notes. Consumer protection agencies in places like Germany and France will be watching. And suddenly, Nintendo's whole new first, explain later policy could be under global scrutiny. This isn't just about breaking, it's about ownership, about digital rights. And I don't know about all of you, but I'm genuinely tired of every single gaming company and studio telling me I don't own the products I'm paying for. But in this case, you bought a console, you should get to use it reasonably without fear of invisible tripwires that kill your hardware. Because if Nintendo gets away with this, what's next? They break your console because you use a third party controller or because you modded a Joy-Con? At what point does your purchase actually belong to you? What I love most about this is how Brazil became the unexpected hero in the gaming world. The same country where import taxes can make a PS5 cost more than a used car just went full consumer rights anime protagonist and challenged Nintendo's corporate nonsense with a glowing court filing. This is basically a Procon SP versus Bowser. And honestly, as much as I love Bowser, some people more than me, I'm rooting for the guy with the clipboard and the lawsuit. While the rest of us sit here quietly hoping our consoles don't get bricked next week, Brazil is out there saying, no, you don't get to treat people like this. Change it or we'll see you in court. If Brazil wins, even just a concession or a compromise, it will prove something critical: that companies like Nintendo cannot just rewrite ownership with a single EULA checkbox. So, just to recap everything, Nintendo breaking Switch 2 consoles without appeal or a resource. They're doing it through vague legal language that most people don't even read. And Brazil is stepping up, saying it violates consumer protection laws and is ready to fight. No other country has done this yet. No class action suits, no collective pushback, just Procon SB, staring down one of the biggest names in gaming and saying, you're not above the law. And honestly, I really hope they win. Because if Nintendo can break your console over suspicion today, what's to stop any company from doing the same thing tomorrow. Thanks for watching this video. If you live in Brazil, give Proc and SP a high five. And if you're not in Brazil, maybe ask why your country isn't doing the same. And now the cringy part. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you think in the comments below. Yes, I'm still stiff with my videos. And remember, next time you see the EULA pop up, maybe read it. Gearbox. Okay, quick editor note slash gremlin note. You know what's really rich about this whole situation? Nintendo doesn't even officially operate in Brazil, and I just cannot get over that fact. Yet they're happy to take Brazilian money and sell your console at luxury car prices. And I know, Brazil was not like the only country where they're doing that, but I just thought it's so funny. It's like they want to sell you the product, but if something goes wrong or when legal pushback happens, suddenly Casper the Friendly Ghost. So just to be clear, Nintendo's willing to profit off of Brazil market, but not establish any accountability there. No legal offices, no official response centers, just a fax machine and some third-party legal intern with a Donkey Kong tie trying to stall for time. And if you think about it, imagine if anyone else did that, what Nintendo was doing. If Valve bricked your Steam Deck because you downloaded a mod, Twitter would melt the hell down. Gabe would have to do a hostage video apology. But when Nintendo does it, some fans still defend it like, well, piracy is bad, okay? Yes, piracy is bad. No one's even arguing about it. But you know what else is bad? Losing your entire console because you, quote unquote, might have done something wrong. And just a quick note on top of that. It's actually a new behavior from Nintendo of doing that. They shut down fan games like AM2R, even though Metroid fans were literally starving for content. They destroyed Smash competitive scene over a mod that let people play online during COVID. They sent legal threats to YouTubers for showing game mechanics in walkthroughs. And by the way, that's one of the reasons why I'm not including any videos of Nintendo in this video. So if you think bricking Switch 2 is the line they won't cross, you haven't really been paying attention. This is just their latest evolution in their long-running boss fight against their own community. Like, who would have thought the Nintendo final boss is literally Nintendo? Also, Brazil might not be a global superpower Nintendo used to tangoing with, but that's exactly what makes this fight so interesting. Broken SP isn't just going for headlines. They've got a history of taking on corporate giants over bad consumer practices. And if they win, even in a small way, it'll be a major blow to the you own nothing dystopian Nintendo and other companies are quietly building. This is why it's so important right now to just support them and also, bring awareness, share it with people. Sometimes all it takes is one country standing up and saying no more. And I don't know about all of you, but I would love to see Nintendo have to rephrase their EULA to say, we promise not to blow up your hardware unless you're really, really naughty. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly insert that. And yes, I do own a Switch 1. I'm not planning to get a Switch 2. I genuinely, especially after the whole Power World situation and how they were treating their own partner content creators, I'm honestly so over this whole BS.
Yeah, yeah, fly high, check it. Spread my wings high, reach the sky. Feathers in the wind, never asking why. I'm a bird, motherfucker, I'm a bird. Soaring high, yeah, that's the word. Flying free like you never heard.